Excellent. So you remember, people who study history, and especially are keen on Belizean democracy, will know that 43 years ago when we got independence, 1981, our threshold in the constitution was of 20% from the mean. That means that no constituency could have been 1.5 times larger than the other constituency, just 1.5. Well, over time, the constituencies began to get more numbers, and some began to lose numbers. So in 1988, before the 1989 elections, Mr. Manuel Esquivel, Prime Minister Manuel Esquivel, removed the numbers, the actual numbers of the threshold, 2,000 to 3,000 in numbers. That would be the high and the low of constituencies. He removed those numbers out of the constitution for a simple convenience, in order that they can have elections without violating the constitution. Well, in that legislation, he said that nothing else changed. It is just the removal of the number. The standards didn't change. Well, after 2015, the thing just got worse. By the time 2019 came around, the difference was that the largest constituency was 5 times larger than the smallest constituency. So I'm at 2019 now. Well, we knew that the government enjoyed it because they had their little fiefdoms, their little kingdoms there, and they didn't want to do anything about it. So we decided that the only option is to go to court now. In 2020, they decided that they couldn't win because we were agitating in court. They decided they couldn't win, so they will sign a consent order with us. The consent order said that they must redistrict, they must give a proposal to the National Assembly, as the law says, and that the difference has to be in accordance with the almost or near as equal. Well, they did all of that. They did the proposal, they presented it to Parliament, but the problem was that the proposals they presented, they were not near equal. In other words, right now, as we speak, the difference is 5 times. The largest constituency is 5 times larger than the smallest. The efforts of the peace movement, those litigants, including Brother Will Mejia from PG, we achieved the feat that the difference went from 5 times, which is the largest, 5 times, the largest is 5 times more than the smallest, to only 2.5 times the largest to the smallest. Now that's about 50%, but that is not good enough, because Belizeans in 1981 had a better democracy than that. We had only 1.5 times. So 2.5 times is not good enough. That is the context in which I want to speak about the application. This application was to first disallow the government, the elections from the threshold is the 2.5% difference, the 2.5 times difference. We wanted to ensure that the government cannot use the current schedule, which still stands even though we have a proposal in the National Assembly. We don't want them to run an election on this current schedule. So that is what this application was all about.